Wiggins. There's Karl Anthony Towns back in the game, and Curry picking, stops behind the arc, hits the three. Curry. Curry. Pretty move there.
One by Towns.
Coming in hot here in the third quarter. Curry, back it up, fires it. 23.6 points per game last season, a new career high. Timberwolves up by 7. Curry.
Get it in the second half, or just own a game. Seem to throw out his career.
Quick passing for Golden State. Curry underneath.
Now he played okay in the second half, but he didn't start well in the last game.
Here's Curry. Iguodala over to Curry. Jab step. Now driving from the baseline. The high finish off the window.
What is son? Appreciate y'all for tuning in again to the Courtside Seat show. It's your boy Sean the Slim God. Let's go ahead and get it started. So first, of course, we're going to get into legal matters, man. Real quick. The Morris twins got found not guilty of all counts for aggravated assault in the incident that I was telling you about earlier when they was at the club and supposedly his homeboy jumped on somebody. Well, all counts were acquitted. Even his homeboy didn't get charged with nothing. So congratulations to y'all. Let's stick to just playing basketball. You know, the season finna start. Let's go ahead and focus on that. So kudos to the Morris twins, for real. And then since the season is coming up and we're so close to the season coming up, we like 8 days away. I want to go ahead and get into injuries and how injuries has been going. So if y'all haven't heard, Nicholas Batum is going to miss about 6 to 8 weeks in a torn ligament in his left elbow. So I don't know what happened. If you can see the footage, you know, the only thing they really show is him holding his shoulder or whatnot. So if y'all got him or considering getting him on fantasy, y'all want to scratch that off rip, even though Nicholas Batum shows up for the whole season. So at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks, y'all just gonna have to hold out on him. And then Dante Exum, for the second year in a row, commits the whole season again. Like, they just got rid of everybody just for Dante Exum to showcase and be the starting point guard or whatever. And he has a separated shoulder. So with his separated shoulder, what happened was he was coming up for the layup, playing against the Suns, and TJ Warren came up for the block and landed on his shoulder, and they both hit the ground. And when they both hit the ground, I guess that dislocated his shoulder. TJ Warren was supposed to have a concussion or whatnot, but he didn't have to go through concussion protocol, so he's actually all good according to the injury. But bad news for the Jazz. Like, y'all just got rid of everybody just for Dante to be the showcase. So it's going to be real tough. Hopefully Rubio will be able to be that deal for the Jazz, even though they might not make the playoffs. More than likely they not. And then the next injury, Steph Curry with the Dallas Mavericks, he suffered a stress reaction in his left shin. So hopefully, you know, they said that's going to be a couple of weeks. They're going to be reviewing him weekly to see how that goes. But, you know, hopefully he should be able to start come the beginning of the season. That's about a week and a half from now. So, you know, hopefully that should look good for Steph. I don't know as far as fantasy how he gonna look, so I'll keep you updated on his fantasy numbers if they looking better or if they worth speaking about. On to the next injury. Chris Dunn dislocated his finger because he was trying to block a dunk. Oh man, it was horrible. It was really horrible, but it is what it is. You know, hopefully he should be back in about 2 weeks. So that shouldn't really affect the Bulls too much, of course, because this is still preseason. And Chris Dunn was looking pretty good, man, real active out there. So, you know, I can't wait for him to come back and see what the young Bulls is going to do. And then the last injury, which is really not an injury, it's just, you know, they got to put it on the injury list, is LeBron. LeBron's been out the first 3 preseason games. So he was out the last 2 games, and then this Sunday, he's going to be out this Sunday's game. So you know how that go. You know, they basically finessing the rest room for LeBron. So whatever, that's kudos. You know what I'm saying? So on to the next. We're going to do real quick deals. First, Gary Harris agreed to a 4-year, $84 million extension with the Denver Nuggets. That's some good money. You know, they must really like him, and they must be preparing to get rid of some of those wing guards. Even though I told you Josh Childress is there. And then Norman Powell agreed to an extension, 4 years, $42 million with the Raptors. He's really good. So I guess what's going on is we're kind of phasing out the Kobe Bryant era, and we're on the verge of phasing out the LeBron era. So a lot of these teams are prepping up for the LeBron era to end. So if you notice, there's a lot of young players that's getting some big money. They don't have big names yet, but they're definitely getting the big money right now. So we'll definitely see where that goes. That's what's up. And then on to the next topic, I want to briefly talk about Adam Silver. So if you haven't heard previously, he was working to adjust the draft. He did that. He was working to adjust the rest issue. He did that. And he also was able to take away the back-to-back games. You know, there's like very, very few back-to-back games this year. So earlier this week, they were talking about how now on the All-Star Game, now the NHL did it first, so don't think this is like new or nothing like that. The All-Star Game is going to consist of 2 captains. It's going to be 1 captain from the West, 1 captain from the East. LeBron, KD. It's probably going to be it, right? This year, you know what I'm saying? And then from that, it's a pot of 24 players, and they get to pick from the pot of 24 players. Okay, that's good. That's cool. I guess they trying to spice up the game again or whatever. What they're going to end up doing is they're going to add the 3-on-3 within the next couple of years. I'm gambling to see that. You know, don't be surprised if you see instead of the skill challenge, they got a 3-on-3 challenge for the All-Star Game. Then he was actually considering, I guess somebody brought it up, or they was like, hey, what do you think about how long the season is? So Adam Silver is like, you know, 82 games ain't necessary. You know, we don't have to keep it at 82 games. 82 is not the magic number. You know, if we need to reduce it, we need to reduce it. Whoa, buddy. First off, you're doing good with all the other rules. Now you're trying to reduce basketball? Come on, man, what are you doing? And basically the reason why Adam Silver said that was basically because he says, you know, doing a lot of the research on the body and how things are evolving with humans and the body and the studying that we figuring out, we learned that over traveling and overworking the body doesn't help. So basically, regarding the health issues, he wants to reduce the season down to 82 games. But it's not official yet. It's just something that was brought up, and he's like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll consider it, you know. So someone also actually asked him if they were willing to play overseas games during the season, like international teams or whatnot. And he was just like, you know, based on time and travel time and time zones and everything, that's really not going to be as possible as we want to. You know, plane trips take hours and upon hours and don't give players enough rest. So he was basically like, we're considering it, but it's definitely later on in the future. So Adam Silver, man, he's spicing a lot of things up, man. He's changing the game. He's changing everything. You know, as times evolve, he understands that the game evolves too. So you might be a little upset at the changes that he make, but as time goes on, you might understand that, dang, that was a good move that he did. Especially with these young, unwork ethic players that's coming into the league. You know, the lazy ones that like to play around and stuff. You know, you got to account for all of these. Even though they're not going to be the best players, D'Angelo Russell. But it is what it is. And then I definitely want to speak on the preseason real quick. As you know, as we just talked about, the preseason is in full effect. You know, everybody moving around. So I actually got to see the Cavaliers play a preseason game. They look really good. You know, they're going at a pace that the rest of the league really isn't going. You know, the Warriors, of course, look good. I like the way the Wolves look. They looked really nice. So, you know, I'm just kind of going through, man, checking out some of the highlights, you know, kind of going through the game, studying these new young players. The young players is really the ones I'm watching. Who's going to get PT? And who am I going to be able to pick up on my fantasy team? You know, that's really the catch right there. And that's why I'm kind of looking at the preseason, preparing for the regular season. So, you know, kudos. I'm enjoying the preseason. You know, I can't wait to see how OKC is looking. Their first game was pretty mediocre, but again, you know, they're not playing all their minutes or whatnot. So again, preseason is in full effect and 8-9 more days left until the season starts. So make sure y'all get on that fantasy. Make sure y'all get on that fantasy. Holla at me if y'all trying to get in the fantasy league. I got you. I got you. I got you. And then last but not least, I actually want to talk about the New York City subways. So the New York City subways just recently put up some advertisement posters with the Knicks. So one of the pictures was like it showed Tim Hardaway Jr. on one side, and then it showed Jakeem on the other side, and it said hopeless. You know, and then when you walk into the train, it was like you see Jakeem Noah's jersey, and it says, nothing will change until Dolan sells the team. I appreciate y'all for being honest and letting Dolan know that, look, you ain't worth a shit. and we don't really care about your services here. So that's how the Knicks, and that's how it is in New York City. So just beware. And that's about it. You know, we're going to wrap this one up. Can't wait for the season to start. Again, if y'all into fantasy, y'all make sure y'all check out my fantasy pick video. I'm letting y'all know the most recent and the most greatest people to pick for your teams. If y'all need a league, definitely DM me on IG at Courtside Seat Show, or leave a comment and I'll make sure I get back to y'all and make sure y'all get into the league. Other than that, see y'all next week. Peace.